This is a live Channels television event.
Giants will be on their way to England. God will surely give us victory. Move on to the righteous side. Move on to the righteous side with God. Move on to the righteous side with God.
And now the General Parade Commander is marching on to take orders from the reviewing officer, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Benue State, so as to move around and inspect the parade.
Go ahead.
Ito ya mendinga ha. Iba so ya shachu gomna Benue atende anenge parade ne lune. Ha ma gomna dondo je ngutende shachu ne nenge MC develop.
being led by the parade commander, the RSM, and then followed by the reviewing officer, as well as the commandants of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guard. The reviewing officer going to inspect the parade. He himself is a gallant man as a civilian general. His Excellency dressed in the ceremonial regalia of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guard. As the Grand Commander, Brigadier General, Civilian General, very filled with capacity to discharge. Please, the owner of the GAG, Naka 142, please, we beg you that the driver should take the car away. GAG, Naka 142. Please, the owner of the vehicle, GAG 142, Naka 142, please move your car away. I can see that the chairman of the Benue State chapter of the Christian Association of Nigeria, Reverend Dr. Akwen Leba, is nodding his head, knowing very well that faith without works is useless. Therefore, even as Christians, as we pray, there should be an action to match our faith, which is the essence for this passing out parade. And he's lauding these efforts by His Excellency of not relenting, but continuously, so that manpower will be readily available and will not run shortage when there is need for reinforcement. Doing it very well. The inspection is still going on as His Excellency still moves around the parade. One very unique thing is that the Principal Special Assistant to the Executive Governor of Benue State on special duties, Honorable Abraham Kwango, is always by the side of His Excellency, making sure that that moral support is gained from him. And so, as we try to stabilize the technicals with perfected sound, we still make progress. Very joyfully, the Assembly member for Logo State's constituency, with admiration, is lauding the entire program here today. Honorable Kuranen Yaba, I salute you. Whispering into my ears is the immediate past Executive Secretary of the Benue State Primary Healthcare Board, Dr. Bella Geda, telling me that he is happy being part of this history today. And may I inform all of us once again that this event is enjoying live coverage by all television networks in the country, including our own Benue television, who has come here with the entire crew and giving quality digital coverage. This coverage is not limited to the television network, but I am also informing you that notable radio houses are here with us. Harvest FM, Radio Benue, Ashy Waves, Brothers FM, and the host of all of other media houses.
Very significantly is the instruction of parade by His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Benue State, that is in progress. May I assure you all that I am part of the full commission of order that the gospel parade for this prosperity. Thanks for the Commissioner of Police, Benue State Command, looks up with admiration, simply whatever else, knowing fully well that this is indeed a well-coordinated and planned personnel. The officer commanding tactical command of the Nigerian Air Force, who is here ably represented by the Army Services Wing Commander S.H. Abdullahi, looks up with great satisfaction, as well as the representative of the Commandant of the Nigerian Navy Provost and Regulatory School, Macaulay, who is ably represented by the base gunnery officer, Lieutenant Commander UAF Ife. We also see that the representative of the commanding officer of the 72 Special Forces Battalion, Major O.G. Ortom, is also filled with contentment that this is indeed a well-programmed event. Happily, watching keenly, knowing very well that come 2023, in saddled with the responsibility of the governor, he will discharge saying, the Speaker is watching. And now that the inspection is over, the parade commander now takes the final orders from the relief officer
to continue with the rest of the parade.
Go. Give me.
His Excellency been led to also inspect.
I do record, sir. Headphone come. Fly. Go give me headphone. Talk back for this one.
Now returning to the saluting guys. His Excellency being supported by his advisor on security matters, Colonel Paul Hemba retired, and having that ticket, making sure that the briefing takes place on all that has been put in place. Your Excellency, seeing you in this ceremonial regalia, I feel tempted that if this ceremonial regalia will not fit for me, a Protestant uniform will be made for me, so that at least I'll be satisfied that I'm wearing a uniform. And the review officers give man for saluting guys so that the parade commander can march on to take permission to go on with the rest of the parade. Parade commander. The parade commander rearranging the parade so they can take the review order.
How much of that? So you go back to where you were from.
Your Excellency, we thank you for this honor done us. May you now be led to your seats. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Can we please put our hands together for His Excellency, welcoming him and at the same time for the role he has just played. It shows his gallantness, it shows his capacity and competence. Now, let's sit back, joining His Excellency to watch as the trained personnel of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guard will make different displays. MC Adole, please take over.
Your Excellency, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, at this point, may I now invite the officers and men of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards to please come forward and demonstrate what is called a riot squad. That demonstration is going to last for just 5 minutes. As you may stage action, the parade general commander is stepping forward for the demonstration of the riot squad, an activity that is professionally trained to quell any form of disorderliness or civil disobedience. They are indeed trained to quell civil unrest and any form of disorderliness.
Can you hear me? Can you confirm the audio?
Riots.
Okay, let's go. Let's roll it.
Stage forward a demonstration to that effect. That is the demonstration. Action-packed. That is the demonstration, full of action.
Of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards, a creation of the law from the Benue State House of Assembly, and I'm bringing in the Attorney General and Commissioner of Justice, Mr. Mike Busa, to talk to us about why this law, why this outfit, and how this can work to protect the Benue people. Good morning. What is the essence of this outfit, and how will it operate going forward?
Well, the essence of the outfit is to complement the activities or the efforts that are being made by the conventional security agencies in the state. And given the emerging security challenges that we have in the state, this law was made in the year 2000, but the implementation was not noticed until when His Excellency Governor Samuel Ortom came, and the attacks, the security challenges in the state became endemic, and he decided that he will have a second look at the law, and which was done, and some amendments were made, and the command structure of the outfit was reinforced. That is what you are seeing today. And their role is to complement, like I said, the functions and the activities of the conventional security outfit in the state.
Last August 4th, you had inauguration of 500 of them. How many are you inaugurating today, and how will this change? Because now the federal government have said they are not licensing any state or regional security outfit with guns. How will this outfit work?
Well, I think today, I am not certain about the total number of, but I think it's 1,000. And you know, even under the law, you have some category of firearms that they can carry. It is the automatic weapons that is forbidden. And so they have some category of firearms that they can always carry. And like I said, their role is to complement the role of the conventional security.
In Benue, for instance, have there been any case of infraction by these men in the last 2 months that you inaugurated the first one? If there is, how will you handle that?
No, I am not aware of any case. No case of sort has been reported. They are law-abiding and they are operating within the confines of the provisions of the law that established this outfit. And if there is a case of that sort, I think it will be that of a criminal nature. It will be, you know, whatever you are doing, wherever you find yourself, you cannot rule out the possibility of criminals. In the army, in the police, in the Navy, wherever, you still have criminals. And so when there is an incident like that, we will treat it as such.
Okay. Thank you very much for talking to us from here. We'll go back to some of the programs and we'll come back to you again with subsequent interviews.
Distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, will agree with me that the way the actions of these community volunteer guys is being synchronized shows that they are the type that is easily catchy. They have learned it within a short time and they are demonstrating it accurately and excellently. Full of energy, full of enthusiasm, full of commitment, and they are indeed highly motivated. Congratulations, congratulations to you, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Benue State, to the entire Benue community, and to you, the community volunteer guards, officers and men of the community volunteer guards of Benue State, rather. With this, they are chanting of songs. It clearly shows that they are pledging their unalloyed loyalty to His Excellency's administration, and of course to the entire Benue populace who are here to witness this historic event. Thank you very much. Let's put our hands together for them. Thank you very much. What a wonderful demonstration by the officers and men of the community volunteer guards, passing up parade batch 2, the riot squad. The second demonstration is going to be by the unarmed squad of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards. Thank you. While the riot squad is now preparing to retire, let the unarmed squad please get set for their action. The unarmed squad are going to demonstrate here before us. A demonstration by the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards Unarmed Squad, Combat Stroke Tug of War Squad. Let's put our hands together, more befitting for them. Thank you very much. Indeed, they are motivated, we are motivated, and we are encouraged by this show of action. We are now going to enjoy a display by the unarmed combat squad. They have been taught a taekwondo. I don't know what it entails, but they are going to demonstrate that for you to watch. Self-defense is also what they have been taught professionally. It therefore means that even without arms, they are going to defend us and ensure that peace and orderliness in our communities are well maintained. As you can see, we also have the female ones among them, but that does not connote that you should underrate or underestimate them. They are equally fit and ready for action. This is quite synonymous to the Chinese demonstration of one who is ready to fight and win a battle that is meant for the good of all. Demonstration by the armed squad, full of enthusiasm as well. It therefore clearly shows that with or without arms, they are capable of defending themselves and defending us as a whole. Shall we put our hands together more befitting for them? Of your action, officers and men of the community volunteer guards, for this wonderful demonstration. This is a demonstration by the version of our armed squad, which clearly shows that they are ready for action, that they can defend us even without being armed. They can as well defend themselves. Fully charged and ready for action. Thank you very much. They are now demonstrating what is called single cases or lone attacks and self-defense. This is equally a show of force and a show of strength. As you can see, they may have had a knife, yet they put it aside to show that even without that, they can defeat their opponent apparently. He was being attacked with a knife, but yet he was able to subdue it. And that is quite commendable. Another demonstration. We are watching keenly, but with enthusiasm and interest. Another demonstration out there, you can see they have been able to subdue their enemy without any form of arm. What a worthy demonstration. Another one is coming forward. Different styles of demonstration, different ways of attempting to subdue their enemies. You can see even a female officer is yet ready for action. That shows that you shouldn't underrate any of them, irrespective of sex or gender. They have done it well, and they have done it very, very commendably. Let's put our hands together, much more befitting for them. Thank you very much. At this point, you may retire, even as we are going to witness next tug of war.
Well, in the last 10 years, communities from Agatu, Guma, Logo, Makodi, Gwe West have really come under attack, and Agatu stands a very, very huge reminder of how people have suffered because one of lack of access road for security response, timely response, that has been a problem. And so to deal with that, somebody who is from Agatu is here to talk to us about how creation of infrastructure and this security apparatus can help them curb or overcome the challenges of insecurity in their domain. Good morning. Can you talk to us about efforts put by the government in the area of road and this security outfit that will help your people do better and live their life peacefully?
Thank you very much. You have hit the nail at the right place because I am actually from Agatu and I have governed the local government 2 times. And the peculiarity of our area is because of the proximity of the local government to Nansura State, which the people that are attacking our place came all the way from Nansura, Loco, and other Azis. And you know, the infrastructure in Agatu was in the deplorable condition because the successive governments have abandoned the road that is supposed to be used for security people to rush to our aid. But when Dr. Ortom administration came to power, the problematic road from Oshibudu to Obagaji was constructed. And now security from Otukpo and other area can easily move, and Operation White Stroke from Loco can easily move to the local government to be mobilized to the local area where these attackers invaded. But recently the governor also awarded the road from Obagaji to Okokoro, which will link Agagbe, and when this road is constructed, the insecurity problem and the mobility problem will become the issue of the past. But what I want to tell you is that Agatu people were highly affected by the Fulani attackers. As at 2000,
you mean headsmen attack?
Headsmen. As at 2016, when I was the sole administrator of that local government, by my record and the record from the 168 communities, we lost over 3,920 persons from the various local government. There is no local government in Agatu that did not record about 20 to 30 persons killed. And virtually, right from Obagaji, the local government quarter till Odejo, Odubeho, Okokoro, Aku, Abogwe, and all the riverine communities were destroyed, burnt down to ashes. There is no structure that is standing as I'm talking to you today.
So how will this address this problem?
To address this problem is what you are witnessing today, because the security architecture in the state were overwhelmed by these people and they were not enough to take care of the security challenges. So when the government came up with the idea of community volunteer guard, these people will be used to supplement or complement the effort of the conventional security men who will be moving to the local communities to make sure that they thwart the effort of the headers from sending our people from their ancestral home. As you can see them today,
If these people are mobilized to the various community, coupled with the soldiers and the mobile policemen that are in our various community, they know the terrain, they know where these people pass. The boys will not direct the soldiers on how to meet these people and chase them out of our place. And the farmer can comfortably return to their home and then go to their farm. Okay, so this is a noble objective.
Okay, let me find out from you. The state government has done a lot of roads, and it is in a bid to help improve security. Can you talk about this road project in the state and how it's improving your economy and infrastructure?
The road?
Yes. In the state across.
Whenever there is a road network, there will be mobility of people and goods. And you can produce. If there is no road, you cannot move. But the state governor, the governor of Benue State, the defender of Benue value, Dr. Samuel Ortom, has created so many access roads and infrastructural facilities in other rural areas that people can even attest to it. There is no local government in Benue State today that you cannot find access road constructed by the government of Dr. Samuel Ortom. And I want to tell you that even if we construct the best road, the best edifices, buildings and structures in any part of the state, and there are no people that will be alive to live in that place, the government has failed. So the paramount aim of any government is to protect life and properties of the people, and that is why the government is saying that for everything that it has to do, let the people be alive, let the people be available in their community, so that economic activity and social activities will come to be the reality on ground. But today, if you go to Guma, Agatu, and way west, there are virtually villages without people, and those people are clamoring that government will come to their aid. That is why you are seeing this community volunteer group being formed, and whenever they are deployed to the various community, the issue of insecurity will become the issue of the past. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You've heard from one of the most affected communities and local governments in Benue State, which is Agatu. The experience from those people is that if we have enough deployment, their people can go to bed sleep with their eyes closed, return to their farms to cultivate the land, and provide to fill the basket that is called the food basket of the state. Thank you. Yeah.
Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Benue State, the Speaker, Benue State House of Assembly, the Head of Service, the Chief of Staff, the President, Customary Court of Appeal, His Royal Majesty the Totif, ably represented by the Kwande, the Chidoma, the Commissioner of Police, representatives of the AOC, the CO, 72 Special Forces Battalion, the DSS, and the Commander, Navy Provost School. Members of the State Executive and Security Council, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen, you are all welcome to the passing out parade of the second batch of the trained community volunteer guards. You are all aware that over the years, Benue State has grappled with a spate of violence and insecurity, ranging from communal clashes, farmers-sellers clashes, kidnappings for ransom, terrorism, and banditry, amongst others. To tackle these security challenges, the state government enacted the Benue State Vigilante Law way back in the year 2000 to complement the efforts of the conventional security agencies in tackling these issues. However, after 20 years of existence, The vigilante law was amended by this present Benue State government on 26th of October 2021 to enhance its effectiveness. This gave rise to the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards Law. In the amended law, the new outfits can now carry unprohibited light weapons legally. To build a dependable and formidable force capable of assisting in stemming insecurity in our communities, the Executive Governor of Benue State, Dr. Samuel Ortom, took the bull by the horn and approved the training of the first batch of trainees to expose personnel of the community volunteer guards to some basic paramilitary training. The training program commenced on the 29th of June 2022 and ended on the 12th of July 2022, with the trainees selected by local chiefs and local government chairmen across the 23 areas of the state, including the state capital, Makurdi. Resource persons were drawn from various military and paramilitary formations in Benue State to train the selected personnel in various aspects such as physical training, anti-riot drills, unarmed combat, practical weapon handling, radio communication skills, intelligence acquisition and dissemination, and the protection of critical national and state infrastructure, among others. The guards are to work in collaboration with other conventional law enforcement agencies to complement their efforts in the fight against insecurity and criminality, and to provide timely intelligence and effective responses to all security threats within our communities, especially in the rural areas. Your Excellency, I am glad to report to you that the feedback we are getting from the field and from other conventional security agencies on the performance of the volunteer guards is very encouraging. In Kwale local government, for example, the volunteer guards were instrumental to the recent arrest of operatives of the Cameroonian separatist fighters called the Ambazonians, who had established cells and were hibernating in Jatoaka area of the local government. The suspects and their collaborators were handed over to the police. This commendable feat promptly prompted His Excellency to order for the commencement of training of a second batch whose passing out parade we are gathered here to witness today. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, today we are witnessing the passing out parade of the second batch of trained community volunteer personnel, which marks the official end of training and commencement of operations of this new batch. Your Excellency, I am therefore greatly honored to present to you the second batch of trained community volunteer guards, capable of assisting in protecting Benue State citizens from security threats emanating from the rural communities.
Hello.
Chair.
As I said earlier, Your Excellency, I am therefore greatly honored to present to you the second batch of trained community volunteer guards capable of assisting the conventional security agencies in protecting Benue State citizens from security threats emanating from the rural communities. At this juncture, let me use this opportunity to thank the Executive Governor of Benue State, His Excellency, Dr. Samuel Ortom, for his untiring efforts, his passion, his dedication and commitment to the security of the state and all its inhabitants. It is hoped that the personal parade of this second batch would further boost the strength of the security personnel in the state and assist the conventional security agencies in securing the state. I also thank the Executive Governor of Benue State for committing huge financial resources for training and equipping the volunteer guards, especially in the provision of uniforms, boots, vehicles, motorcycles, as you can see them over there, allowances, and communication equipment. Let me also inform you that His Excellency has approved the establishment of a marine wing of the volunteer guards, which is in the process of being established, and this is to help patrol the waterways in the state with the planned acquisition of boats for that purpose. I thank the State House of Assembly for enacting the enabling laws and the Executive Council for making the necessary approvals. At this point, I congratulate the trainees for successfully undergoing the rigors of the training. I charge you to maintain discipline at all times. Let me once again warn the trainees that no act of indiscipline will be tolerated from any of you. A case in point is the summary dismissal of a personnel of the first batch from Constitutional Local Government who was arrested for a case of rape, and he was handed over to the police for prosecution. I further charge you to maintain all vehicles and equipment placed at your disposal at all times. Any loss or willful damage of any of these equipment or vehicles will attract severe punishment. I also want to thank the host community, particularly the proprietor of the College of Education Kayango and Government Day Model School for hosting us during the training. My special appreciation also goes to the Benue State Commissioner of Police, the Director of State Services, the Commandant, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, and the Commanding Officer, 72 Special Forces Battalion for their encouragement, advices, and provision of facilities, instructors, and their overall contributions in many other ways towards the success of this training program. Thank you all, and God bless.
Thank you very much. The Special Advisor to the Governor of Benue State on Security Matters, Lieutenant Colonel Paul Hemba, retired. Your Excellencies, we're going to take 3 goodwill messages.
These personnel have been drawn from various communities, and in our African setting, every community has a chief, a traditional ruler who presides over its affairs and knows everybody down to their kindred, to their family level. So join me this afternoon is the To Lobby, who is in charge of Makodi and Guma local government, to talk about their expectation for these personnel in their areas and what their task would be. Good morning for joining us here. You heard the advisor say there won't be they won't tolerate any act of indiscipline. As a tool in these two local governments, what would you expect of these people to do to protect your people, return them to farm, and how will you support them to do this task government has given?
Channel Television, thank you very much for bringing me here. You know, the community volunteer guards are an offshoot of the anti-grazing law. This law was made by the governor of Benue State, pressurized by us. We, the fathers and traditional rulers, because of the incessant killings and maiming of our people here, around Benue State, particularly Makuti here and Agatu, we became so disturbed. And so we requested the governor to go ahead and act this law. And after this law was enacted, the Mayor Tiala and colleagues told the world that they were going to resist. They are not going to obey this law, and they will continue to bring incessant insecurity on us. And they continue to do it. Here in Makudi town, they had penetrated. They would come, and a young man like you with his wife, lawyers, they will maim them. They will, around us, all the communities here run away. There in Makudi, only a few communities, you go there, you find the people there. And so we again approach the governor and say, please, go ahead and assist the traditional or the official police people, the security agencies. Assist them by providing these volunteer people, the volunteer guards. And that's why they were introduced. And the volunteer guards are so important to us. We believe that with their assistance, they are supposed to actually assist the traditional or the official security outfits. So they are not supposed to do anything outside that. As a matter of fact, they are expected to go to their villages, stay with their mothers and parents. Because as I'm talking to you now, the Fulani herdsmen are all over us in Guma. They are all over us in Makudi. And all the communities around us, they are either in Makudi here or hiding with their relations. So these young men, they are able young men, and we expect them to go to the villages, if possible, climb over the trees, watch. If they see these people coming to harass and kill our mothers, they should alert the conventional security outfits. And so their role is a complementary role to the conventional security outfits, who have been doing very, very well.
Why we must take caution from stereotyping a particular race, we refer to them as herdsmen and not a particular race. What will be your support as a tool to the groups in your local government, in your domain, to do their job?
For me as a tool, here to lobby, I am told for the thieves, all the thieves living here. I am told for the Idomas residents here in Makudi. I am told for the Igbos. I am told for the Hausas. I am told for the Fulanis. I am told for the Nupe. Everybody within Makudi Metropolis is my son. And so the word they are herdsmen. They were with us here forever. As I'm talking to you now, if you go to my father's house, you see them. They are there. So our own is to encourage them to embrace this law and live peacefully with us the way they were living before what is happening now. Honestly, we're surprised with what they are doing.
Thank you very much. You have heard from the To Lobby, who is presiding over Makodi and Guma local government as a traditional ruler. I'm also going to bring you another traditional ruler where over 30 people were killed in the last 2 months. He's the Adi Inone of Inone, covering Okpoku, Ogbadibu, and Ado local government. His people has been killed many times, and food security has become a threat in his domain. So I bring him to talk to us about how to curb this. Your Royal Highness, how has food production in your domain been impacted by the challenges of insecurity?
Of course, even from your introduction, you've already said it. Certainly, before any activity takes place, there has to be security. Without security, nothing can take place in anywhere that we are all talking about. first, in my domain, we are not just faced with the challenge of killing, or the incessant killing by herdsmen and others. We have the perennial problem of boundary, which has always been there. We have, of course, this one which I mentioned, gunmen killing our people every time. And the worst of all, kidnapping is even there in my own domain. As you know, I control 3 local governments, and all these ones have their own peculiar problems. Thank God we have this community volunteer guard. We all know that in this country, the conventional forces are overstretched. And that is why I believe the governor of Benue State, in his wisdom, decided that let us find a way whereby you can reduce this case of insecurity by introducing this community volunteer guard, which pass through the normal process of the law, and they are allowed to bear light weapons officially, legally. Now, they are not supposed to be competing with the normal conventional forces, you know. They are supposed to be assisting. And then, so that for now, after the first launch of the first phase, there has been a marked improvement, because these are the people that are living with the people. They know everybody, they know the routes, they know the village routes and others. And to tell you another is that they were actually selected by we traditional rulers. So government has no hand in it so much, whereby somebody will have any fear of anything. And therefore, we look after them, right from the clan head, ward head, third class, second class, and up to me as the overall supervisor of my own zone. So I think that's a very, very good introduction to the security problems in the state. You recall that not too long ago, there had been first batch had been launched here. We are now for the second batch. And I can attest to it that the security situation has greatly improved. And I believe with this, it will improve further. It will be a very, very great boost to the maintenance of law and order in our place, since they are to complement the efforts of the...
Okay, let me find out from you. You said that traditional rulers are chiefly involved in the selection of these people. You know them to your domain, to your family, and the kindred. Will you be able to hold them responsible if they go awry?
Of course, that is exactly what it means. These are people that we know. We selected them based on their character. We know their parents, we know where they live. And that is the advantage we have over the normal conventional authorities. So under their own leadership, the community volunteer guards are there, and they have come because we know them, we know where they are, we know their behavior. And one thing we should know is that in every community, most of the bad eggs are known. So those who are conniving with external forces to come and invade us, and those who are connected with those who are kidnapping, this is the time. I believe their days are numbered. With the introduction of this volunteer guard, we will make sure that we hold them accountable and responsible. Thank you very much.
All right, all right, thank you very much. You've heard from them. They are responsible for the selection of these people and can vouch for their integrity. If anything were to go wrong, they will produce them. So from Benue is an internal solution to dealing with the problems they have from the rural communities. We'll be back to you with some more details as the program continues.
Obagaji John, may we please give our listening ears to His Royal Majesty.
Go. Your Excellency, the distinct Governor of Benue State, the Speaker of the House, the Head of Service, and the member of Benue State Executive Council, may Almighty God bless all of you in Jesus' name. I also want to recognize the security apparatus within Benue State. The Almighty God will continue to bless you. I'm delighted to be here to deliver a goodwill message and to say the coming into being of the community volunteer guard is orchestrated by God and hatched by our able governor, the executive governor of Benue State. And I believe you're coming in to be the challenging internal security will be reduced to a very minimum. We are the lover of peace. We convert for peace. We pursue the peace. And we want to maintain the peace. And I believe God, as you confront the externality, try to pose a threat to this loving state, Benue State, the Almighty God will go before you. And I remember from the book of 2 Chronicles chapter 20 verse 22, your enemy will be turned against themselves, and the Almighty God will deliver you, because you are going to do a just cause. And when you're standing on the right with your Almighty God, there is no Goliath that will stand before you that you cannot kill. On that note, as you go out to defend your motherland, that is Benue State, God himself will go before you. He will go behind you, and your way will be prosperous. And I also want to use the opportunity for the fact that our executive governor, God have given him a mind in order to put this outfit so that other states will emulate. If nobody can be there for you, you'll be there for yourselves. And that is what has been displayed by our distinct governor of Benue State. And I say that the Almighty God will continue to bless him, bless all the executive members of Benue State. May God bless you, and wherever you go, the presence of God will always be there with you. Thank you, and God bless you.
And that has been the Ochidoma. Thank you. We'd like to not stay put and delay. Your Excellency, I invite the President General of Team
if
Youth
you heard the
Organization.
traditional rulers earlier, food production has become a dire thing in their communities because of not many farmers are able to access their farmland because of the attacks on the communities. And to talk to us about the implication of not producing food in Benue, I have with me a nutrition and food security expert, Dr. Ugbe, to talk to us about how does this affect food production in Benue, nutrition for our children, and the implication of food security for the country.
Thanks for having me. First of all, His Excellency Governor Samuel Ortom, since he came in almost 80 years ago, has been advocating for food security. He's an avid farmer himself. The fact that the Benue communities continue to be attacked by herdsmen and killed on their farms, and they've had to run from their farms, it has drastically reduced food production in Benue State. As we speak today, the killings have continued in Benue State. So the event that is happening today is very critical to protection of the people of Benue State, the farming communities in Benue State, to make sure that they are protected and they're able to farm. You know about what is going on around the world now, the impact of global warming on food security and the supply chains. You know what's going on about the war in Ukraine. And so the transportation of grains to different countries, including Africa, has been affected. And so we must increase food production to feed not only Benue, not only Nigeria, but to export outside of this country. His Excellency has advocated this ever since he came into office. So we cannot overemphasize on the importance of this activity today to make sure that we have security in the communities in Benue State to ensure increased food production, which has greatly reduced over time because of the killings by the herdsmen attacks and everything that's going on in the state.
Okay, let me ask you, there was a program you were running because of the displacement of almost 2 million people, mostly women and children, on a child per egg or program like that. What's the status of nutrition of displaced persons? How there is a humanitarian crisis in Benue, and what would you advise be done?
Well, again, His Excellency was very forthcoming by ensuring that we conducted a nutrition assessment of the children in the IDPs camp. And following that, Her Excellency was crowned the nutrition ambassador of Benue State. That's when the program of one man, one egg, one woman, one egg was initiated. And this was to now begin to give the children boiled eggs so that they can eat themselves. We continue to do that. The activity has been affected because of the reduced the economic situation in the state with decreased farming activities, which has affected the prices of food items. The program has continued to go on. Development partners are beginning to know about this activity. They really applauded the activity, applauded Her Excellency for agreeing to be the nutrition ambassador. Without proper nutrition, children can't grow. Children are dying of malnutrition in these IDPs camps. The stunting of children because of malnutrition is at 30% nationwide. And when we conducted a nutrition assessment, malnutrition, severe malnutrition, was almost 20%. Stunting was 32%, just like it's all over the nation. And so we can't overstress the importance of nutrition to these children, because without proper nutrition, they can't grow, and they are literally dying. You go to the IDPs camps, they are dying. So we must ensure that we increase food production, nutrition-sensitive agriculture, which His Excellency Governor Ortom has also been advocating for Benue people to key into, to make sure that we don't just produce food, but we also produce nutritious food.
Are you calling for support for this area of housing, resettlement, and growth?
Absolutely. We've been asking development partners who have been coming into the state to help ensure that there is housing for these people, because being displaced, they can't farm. The farming communities will continue to be taken over. So resettlement is very important. Housing is very important for them to get back to farming. His Excellency has led this campaign, and we're finding support, gradual support, because the challenges are not just nationwide, they're global. And so we're finding support to make sure that there's housing, the continued housing for these people to go back home, so that the farming activities will continue to feed Benue, to feed the nation.
Okay, thank you from our food and nutrition expert, Mrs. Dorcas Ukpe, for providing us the insight about statistics and the welfare of our IDPs on the camp, at the various camps. We hope that this program can actually add value and return these people to their farms, and food production can come on the rise as it used to be. Benue is known to be the food basket of the nation. So let's join the regular program as we continue with our broadcast here.
Ashegili wadu fino tom la loy doka mao. Oton le bobi wa kola volunteer saboinu. Vigilante lenyo boyo nyola lonya. Ojili ma wa je kalo. Benue otom la loy doka. Otoma di logo otom la loy doka bebe. Benue je du 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 otom la loy doka. Amu moto nola luwa. Moto pepepepe. Benue jedu do. Machine abanu nola baketo teke totale la kubenue na poyo ubenue. Jedu do. Otonalo. Ele ubenue jedu do. Otonalo idoka. Otonalo. Ochidoma otonalo idoka. Ubakola lona otonalo idoka.
Your Excellencies, without further ado, may I invite the number 3 citizen of Benue State and Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly, who is also flying the flag of the People's Democratic Party for the Guba Race Camp 2023. I invite Right Honorable Engineer Titus Uba, the man whom we say the Uba project is possible. We invite the Speaker.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Benue State, please I crave the indulgence of everyone to anchor on the well-established protocol. Well, I want to first of all thank God for the wisdom He has endowed our governor with to create a very formidable security check in our state. He started this with the introduction of the anti-open grazing law, and that was a very formidable foundation. And today, he's also building another strong structure on that foundation by the introduction of community volunteer guards today. That is very solid, and this has given confidence to our people that we can sleep in Benue State today with our eyes closed. On behalf of Benue State House Assembly, my members are standing here. We are calling on the federal government, and we have endorsed completely the establishment of state police. That will help us do a complete security check in each state of this country. We thank everyone that is here today. This is the second batch graduation of the community volunteer guard as we are gathered here this afternoon. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank everyone that is involved, the military or paramilitary personnel that have trained these people to this capacity. It is what is saying here is quite a sight to behold. We thank everyone that has come. Today, we know that by the time we go back, everyone, every person in Benue State, if we see something, say something to the community volunteer guard so that it will ease their work for our state. And I want to also thank every member of this community volunteer guard for coming out and volunteering to save the situation in our state, security-wise, and to volunteer to save the lives of your people. We thank you very much, and God bless all of us.
That were the words of the Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly. The Uber project come 2023 is a sure victory. Your Excellency, electrifying this atmosphere is the award superlative winning Council of Arts and Culture, the Arts Council, Ortom Boys and Girls. Take it over in 2 minutes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Arts Council. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Can we please give a wonderful round of applause for the Arts Council, Ortom boys and girls. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I know our ears are prying and itching, waiting to listen to the words of a governor who has become an acknowledged nationwide as the conscience and prophet of the nation, politically and security-wise. There is nothing he has said that has not come to pass since 2015. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I invite a man whom the Benue people know as the defender of the Benue Valley, the Nyamkume in Nigeria, the executive governor of Benue State, His Excellency, Dr. Samuel Yoraenyi Ortom Adorogo, a man with a compassionate heart, very large at heart, very courageous. He's the voice of the voiceless. May I invite to the microphone, Manning to deliver words on the second batch of the passing out of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guard. Your Excellency, after your speech, you will remain to take the rest of the parade. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much. You can be seated. Your Excellencies and members of Benue State Security and Executive Council, Your Majesties, Your Royal Highnesses, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is with great sense of commitment to ensuring security of lives and property, as well as peaceful coexistence for all the people living in the confines of Benue State, that the Benue State government, alongside with Benue communities, decided on the establishment of community volunteer guards. With the law enacted by the Benue State House of Assembly in July 2000 and amended in 2021. You may recall that on the 4th of August 2022, we inaugurated the first batch of 500 trained community volunteer guards to complement the efforts of the conventional security operatives at combating increased incidents of insecurity and breach of peace by incessant attacks on Benue farming communities. In fact, these attacks have displaced millions of our people, most of them taking refuge in internally displaced persons camps. The ugly trend informed the amendment of the Community Volunteer Guards Law of 2021, which came into force on the 26th day of October 2021. This law is to strengthen and give meaning to the law banning open grazing or all forms of domestic animals, enacted by the Benue State government in 2017 to prevent incessant attacks on our farming communities and to encourage ranching as the international best practice in animal husbandry. In order to enhance effective operation and proper coverage of the state, the Benue State government has decided to train an additional 1,100 personnel to the 500 earlier trained and inaugurated on the 4th of August 2022. By the grace of God, our intention is to ensure that we have 10,000 community volunteer guards before the end of my tenure. I wish to reiterate that the essence of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards Law, as amended, is to complement the former security agencies, especially the Nigerian police, in crime prevention and securing of lives and property in Benue State. I believe all well-meaning Nigerians feel very challenged over the spate of wanton killings and adoptions being meted out on Nigerians, especially on the unprotected rural farmers, travelers, and defenseless students. All of us as Nigerians have a responsibility to check this evil. The instruction of those who are set to decimate, take over, and control our resources and destiny as a nation with every deserving force and will. In this regard, the training and passing out of the second batch of the Community Volunteer Guards is not just a mere celebration of involvement of people in protecting themselves, but also a milestone in effort to ensure a stable, peaceful, and united Nigeria, where all and unsundry shall enjoy equal rights and God-given freedom. On this note, I once again urge the command structure of the Benue State Volunteer Guards to operate strictly within the ambit of the law, in order not to betray the powers bestowed on them by the people of Benue State. Remain apolitical, conscientious and cautious, vigilant, strong, to stand firm and protect the people of Benue State. It is important for you to be mindful that the conventional security agencies are your allies, and your success depends on how well you synergize with them as workers. Underline the word complement. You have to complement the security agencies, and that was why we drew up those who trained you from the army, from the police, from the civil defense, from the DSS, to ensure that when you start operation, you'll be working with them to complement what they are doing. On our part, the government and people of Benue State will continue to give you moral support, pray for you, and equip you adequately to succeed in the performance of the wondrous responsibility you have taken upon yourselves. Towards this end, the Benue State government has already procured some essential equipment as permitted by law and handed them over to the Nigerian police for use by Benue State Community Volunteer Guards for effective crime fighting. Motor vehicles, motorcycles have also been made available to you directly, and additional vehicles and motorcycles have been procured and will be made available to you today as part of the essential logistics tool for crime fighting. I wish to assure you that we'll continue to acquire more equipment and weapons that are permitted by law to ensure that you don't endanger yourself, but you effectively perform in this assignment. This giant step towards self-defense is indeed a clarion call to all Nigerians of nationalistic and patriotic spirit to rise and not only support our cause, but also throw in their weight to maintain and sustain our lives and nationhood. I have, on behalf of the Benue State government, applied to the responsible federal government agency for approval to procure automatic weapons, particularly AK-47 assault rifle, to further strengthen your logistics support base and your defense capability. I am still waiting for approval from the federal government, despite the fact that I've done this application 3 months ago. No single reply has been given to me. I'm still waiting. I have a responsibility to the state government and the people of Benue State. If in the next 1 month there is no reply, I will revert to the people of Benue State and seek their opinion. Whatever they tell me is what I am going to do. Because the federal government that is complicit in the Fulani killings must rise up to its responsibility of protecting lives and property. We cannot continue like this. Our security men have done their best. At least, I don't know all about other places, but in Benue State, those conventional security men that have been posted here have done their best. Some have even sacrificed their lives, and their families are suffering. They have paid the supreme price. It's on record that from 2017 to date, the Nigerian Army, the police, the civil defense, the DSS, over 120 personnel of these conventional forces have been killed right here in Benue State by these terrorist Fulani herdsmen. So at least the ones posted to Benue State have done their best. But the challenge is still there. And that was why we decided the community volunteer guards should complement what they are doing, because you can't blame them. They are grossly inadequate. How many police do we have in Benue? How many army personnel do we have in Benue? How many civil defense do we have in Benue? How many DSS men do we have in Benue? That is a challenge. But I believe with the coming in of the community volunteer guards, we shall complement their efforts, and these killings, if not stopped, will be reduced to its minimum size in Benue State. The state governments are currently working with the federal government of Nigeria towards moving community policing to state police. When this becomes a reality, we will give the current community volunteer guards the preemptive right to join the state police. That is the first right of refusal. All of you in community volunteer guards today, if by the grace of God we get the right by law, we shall make you have the first right of refusal. At this junction, I appreciate the strong will of the security agencies towards fighting the menace of Boko Haram, banditry, ISWAP, the merciless killings of our farmers by Marudun Fulani terrorist herdsmen, which have become a security threat of unknown magnitude in the history of our dear nation. I urge you all, the Nigerian police, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Air Force, the Navy, the Civil Defense, the DSS, and other paramilitary agencies to remain resolute and committed to the oath to defend our dear country, Nigeria. Furthermore, I implore the traditional rulers, religious leaders of thought to all stand for the oneness and continuity of our dear nation. Finally, we toast in prayer the victory of righteous path over evil. Thus, yip, yip, yip. Thank you all. God bless you. In God we trust.
His Excellency has delivered his words. He will still remain on the saluting dais for the rest of the parade. The parade commander. May we all rise. May we all rise. Thank you, ma'am. You have done well. Please, let's cut it so the parade commander marches forward. Thank you. Bam. Cut it. Thank you.
Immediately after the national anthem, the parade commander carry on from there. Parade commander, carry on. Carry on. March pass. Carry on.
His Excellency will maintain the saluting dice while the parade rearranges themselves and then march on from slow time to quick. Okay, please, you are taking quick time at once, no slow time, please. Quick time at once, parade commander, take note. Quick time at once, no slow time to quick time, just quick time. After taking the salutes, His Excellency will proceed for the presentation of the patrol vehicles and after which the reviewing officer and other guests will depart the parade ground. The band has taken post.
as it has been augmented by the personal parade that is in progress now. Soon afterward, His Excellency goes to inspect the vehicles that are to be dished out for the security outfit from optimally, or rather maximally. His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Benue State, has yet mounted the saluting guards, saluting officers and men of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards, who are now being celebrated as the Batch 2 on their personal parade for today. Soon afterward, we will chronicle this event, which is going to be occasioned by departure in the reverse order. I can start from here. Officers and men of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards, following up with the motorcycles, even as the parade soon comes to an end. It is indeed a part of the exercise.
These motorcycles purchased by His Excellency for the volunteer guard to be able to access rural areas where vehicles that have been purchased cannot access. It enables the personnel of the guard to approach issues as prompt, as necessary, and as adequate as it should be. The efforts of His Excellency is a loud one. The world needs to commend the Governor of Benue State, Dr. Samuel Ortom, for his candid efforts. During the first batch of passing out, the vehicles were paraded. Today, purchases of new vehicles are also being paraded. This indicates that His Excellency is truly poised to seeing that the security of the territorial boundaries of the state is topmost in his government. He has not relented in his effort. He is not fighting this only verbally.
All right, to come to the last interview for this program is the Special Advisor to the Governor on Media and Publicity, Mr. Tevia Kase. Can you tell us how this would transform to peace, security, development for Benue?
Pius, you can see that I am smiling because today is another historic day in the life of Benue State, where a sitting governor has moved decisively with commitment to address the challenge of insecurity. Benue State has always taken the lead when it comes to affairs of this nature. So what you are seeing here, 1,100 men and women who just passed here and officially inaugurated as members of the Batch B of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards goes to show that Governor Samuel Ortom is one who matches his words with action. On August 4th, the first batch of 500 men and women were inaugurated here, and today we have 1,100. So Benue is committed to tackling insecurity. And you know that intelligence gathering is at the root of security, because it is when you have people at the various local government areas, in the various wards of the state, providing information, providing intelligence to the security agencies, that you have a better society. So I believe that what we are seeing here will translate into action. Those who were commissioned here are already providing the needed services. And you know, they are volunteers. That is what the name is. They are volunteers because they are men and women of proven integrity. Okay, they have been selected by the traditional rulers.
If you have security, what are you expected to deliver in dividends of democracy to your people?
Security will translate into growth, agriculture. You know, when herdsmen attacks come, agriculture suffers because community members are chased away from their ancestral lands. And so Benue is the food basket of this country. And when you have almost 2 million farmers displaced, with thousands of them in the IDP camps, then food security is threatened. That is what is happening. And that is what Governor Samuel Ortom is working tirelessly to stop, because our farmers have to be on the farms for the basket to be filled with food for Nigeria to eat and export. So Benue has to be at peace. Our community members, our farmers have to be in their home states. And that's what this government is doing. So I believe that what has just happened here will go a long way to protect our farmers and protect other people who are in Benue State to live in peace and go to their beds with their eyes closed.
Thank you very much, the Special Advisor to the Governor on Media and Publicity. Well, you have heard from all the respondents here in Makurdi, from the IBB Square here in Makurdi, talking about how these security measures, internal security measures, can translate to peace in Benue, can translate to food production, can translate to development. We ask that everybody who has a role to play to making sure that peace returns to Benue does their part. From here at the IBB Square in Makurdi, we're back to you at the studio for regular scheduled programming.
This is Channels Television. You've been watching our live coverage of the passing out parade of the Benue State Community Volunteer Guards Batch B. We'd like to reiterate that the views earlier expressed on this coverage by Governor Samuel Ortom of Benue State are not the views of Channels Television, but purely the personal opinion of the governor. Thank you for staying tuned to Channels Television as we return to our other programming of the day.
You've been watching a live Channels Television event.